What's up, you guys?
Up, guys? How
Back with
you guys doing?
a jam-packed episode of the Handoff. Lots of stuff to talk about today.
Yeah, and big video today. We got Olympic trials, and we got a little bit of ShaCarri Richardson, and the new name, image, and likeness thing that we got going on with the NCAA. But let's start with
Pause.
the most important thing, the Olympic trials, which I would say best track meet ever in track and field history.
It was insane.
What do you think?
It was insane. Yes, it was a very, very impressive Olympic trials. I
There was what I could. There was like you got like two or three world records broken. You
Mhm.
got a bunch of American records broken. You had you know like Grant Holloway and Ry Benjamin running like the second fastest all time,
Right,
and
Fred Curley
like
defying odds to everybody. Like,
yeah, Fred Curley defining all odds. Arian Knighton dropping a 1984. Like across the board, like even in the distance events, like Cole Hawker walking, like literally walking down Centrowitz to win the 1500. Krauser with a world record and like literally, bro,
yeah,
like there was no like slow event.
no,
Like
no,
Javon
no,
Harrison
no
winning
event.
high and long in the same day. Like it left me speechless.
Everybody did their thing in every event, and it was great to see, man. I think it was a kind of a good main event to what this year's been for track with like optimal rest and
Yeah.
all the stuff that we've talked about on previous
Like
episodes.
even like Sydney breaking 52 in the 400 hurdles.
Yeah,
Like Emma Coburn winning her ninth freaking steeplechase U.S. championship. Like this team, like how are we gonna lose in
yeah.
any events?
I think this is America's got a very stacked field, man. And
Well, now with the 100 meter being all up in the air, I think
oh
I
yeah,
think I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price probably wins it,
yeah,
but um, I think other than that,
yeah. It's also a big
I got
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, man.
I got nothing, bro. Where is the U.S. gonna take an L
That's what I'm
other than
wondering.
maybe the 400, maybe the men's 400 hurdles?
Yeah, the women's 4x1 got shook up a little bit too. But I think they're still going to be very strong in that. So, um, you know,
Well, Richardson, because she's only got suspended for 30 days.
right.
So she's not eligible for the 100, but she's technically by the 30 days, she's eligible for the 4x1.
You think she's going to
So
do it?
she could tech she I think they will run her.
Yeah,
I think they will.
yeah,
But something that's been annoying me post like when the Olympic trials, because obviously the Olympic trials were televised on NBC, so it's national television, anybody can watch it, right? It's not like a Diamond League meet or something like that.
right.
All these people acting like they track and field fans now, like no, you only fans every 4 years for the Olympics, right? And they start going crazy, like like I get it. ShaCarri Richardson should not have been suspended. Marijuana, okay, it's legal in like 19 states, and honestly, it's even more freaking crazy that she ran as fast as she did
While
while
smoking.
being on weed because
Exactly. While smoking.
that doesn't help you.
Yeah, while smoking
Like
it.
that doesn't help.
Yeah. So,
So like, but like the thing is, like they're going all ham on, like they're going crazy over her name's Jenna Prandini, who she I think she got second in the 200 or won the 200 meter and got like and she got fourth in the 100. So because Shikari got knocked out, she moves in. But she's run sub 11. She's run 10:19. She's run respectable times, but they're trashing her and saying she's like she's horrible,
yeah.
and like she's like she shouldn't even be within like even in the realm of discussion for the Olympic team.
Right.
Like that's I feel like that's just screwed
But
up,
that's
bro.
in general. That's
I don't
kind of
know.
that's just in general how people are, though, bro. Like, if people don't get what
But
they
like the ones calling him out are not even legit track and field fans
no,
because they're
they're just
saying she's trash, she's
it's
horrible. But
man.
like if you're like, bro, like you don't know anything.
It's with everything, man. People love to ride the waves. People like to feel like they're a part of something. So it's just like they did the whole J.R. Smith thing with the finals, right? When he, took the ball, went back, screwed it up, right?
Yeah, when he
People are gonna burn it. They're gonna
got the
just
whole LeBron meme.
yeah, they're gonna trash you to the ground. And the same, yeah, LeBron with the Lakers this year. Like people don't really know, but they just like to be a part of something. People like to try to fit into something, right? So
Yeah.
people
Either
obviously,
that or they just like to call they like to cause just
yeah,
stupidity for no
just
reason.
yeah, because it's easy to hate on people through social media, man. We've had a fair, I think all of us have encountered it as you know, as athletes up to the point that we've got to in college, man. People like to have uneducated opinions, and that's totally fine
Yeah.
because you can't control it. But the thing that's crazy to me is, I think it's just easy to hate, man. People didn't get what they want, so they're gonna try to trash the next person, right? When this is an extremely talented runner who's stepping in, who's clearly run sub 11, has done it before, but just because it's not ShaCarri
And
Richardson,
she has a very solid chance of medaling in the
and
200
I'm sure,
and has an outside shot at the one, depending on how people do.
and watch her do it, and then people are gonna try to ride her wave and hop on it and support her and be like, "Oh, we were here from the jump," but that's just how people are. And you know, the quicker that we understand that we can't control it,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's not affecting her too much. Obviously, she
Yeah.
knows it, but as long as she's taking it, you know, and just not letting that get to her, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I don't want that to take away from what an amazing Olympic trials it was. I think this really put track and field on the map because, on Twitter, everyone's talking about track and field now like it's the new greatest thing, as if we've
Bro,
never
it's
as if
kind
we've
of
never done
weird
it
that
before.
we called this though. Like we were like, I think this is gonna be a really big
We
year for
said
track
it.
and field that changes the culture. Remember, we were talking about how we have to change
Yep.
the culture, and whether we want it or not, the ShaCarri Richardson thing brought light to track and field in a way that it became something that was in the public eye, and more people started to look into it. Um, you know, the Fred Curley thing, Ronnie Baker, um,
Yeah.
DK Metcalf, obviously we talked about earlier, and
Trayvon Bromell.
yeah, Trayvon Bromell. You know, a lot of people tweeting out, and even back to the ShaCarri Richardson thing, right? D Wade tweeting it out. All these huge athletes and all these huge
Yep.
public figures, right? It puts light on track and
Emmanuel,
field.
Archer, all those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's been great, and like a lot of track and field people, like Trayvon, no, I'm sorry, Cravon Gillespie, like he has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's like people are watching him, and just kind of people are starting to get a light on track, and I think it's really big, and I think it's helping out, and just like we said, man, it's people are starting to notice it, and it's a great sport, so it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're noticing, but sometimes these people think that they know something just because they watched the Olympic trials and all of a
Yeah,
sudden think they know track and field, but like they come out and make comments like they know what they're doing, and then they look stupid, and then it puts a bad name on the sport. I
yeah,
think it does.
but I mean, you know, that's like anybody who runs knows it. People just think that, oh, well, you're just running, it's easy, but it's not. It's one of the hardest
Yeah.
sports. It's one of the highest injury risk sports, like as far as like soft muscle injuries and like soft
Yeah.
muscle tissue. Sorry, I'm getting choked over my words, but yeah, like you know, like soft tissue injuries and stuff like hamstring strains, and it's our whole entire sport is our body, and you
Yeah.
have a couple seconds to do it, and it literally is your life. If you think about it, it's your whole entire your body and the
Yeah.
way you move, and it's a complicated sport, but people like to look at it surface level and be like, you're just running, there's no ball, there's no court, like, but it's not. And you know, people are going to say uneducated things all
Yeah.
over that track until they do it, they realize how hard it is.
Exactly. That's the funny thing at the end of the day that always that gets to me. It's so funny, but um nonetheless, I'm definitely so excited for the Olympics, bro. There's gonna be so many battles that's gonna
It's
literally
going to be
be
amazing, man.
like from Karsten Warholm, the 400 hurdles. I'm gonna sit there and enjoy those 400 hurdles. Those men's and women's 400 hurdles are probably gonna be the best. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna be the best events of the meet. I say I'm putting it right now. Clock me. I don't even know the time. Clock me at 12:30 Monday, July 5th. Both world records go down in the 400 hurdles at the Olympics yet again.
Hot take.
I'm
We hear
calling it
it
right now.
first. I like to hear that. I
I'll
like,
take both 400 hurdles time world records go down again at the Olympics.
mm-hmm.
Shoot,
I'm willing to double
we
down
might
on
even see it in Monaco in 4 days. We might see because the guys Carson and what's his face Rye are going at it in 4 days in Monaco. We might see it then.
Yeah, that I'm willing
You
to
know,
also bet on that,
but
man. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but I'm definitely excited, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, and I think these Olympics and track and field wise, I think it's going to be right up there as one of the best.
yeah.
Everyone's in their top shape right now. USA has it's probably its best representation ever. Um, I think you can't we can't you can't where people are making full on videos trying to decide who the hell's going to even be on the 4x1 and 4x4.
Yeah.
Like that's when you know your team's good, when you can't even figure out a relay because you got like 8 guys that can be on it.
Yeah. It's been cool. It's different, man. It's weird to look at the Olympics 2016 to what they're going to be here in 2021. I think
Yeah.
it really made me realize it when I watched Johan Blake's race, and I realized like, man, like he's
Mhm.
old, like he's older now. And I mean, obviously after the hamstring injuries he's had, but
Right.
no disrespect to him, man. It's the life of the sprinter. And is different. It's a
Yeah.
crazy shift. It's
But
different.
like, here's a crazy thing, right? The U.S. depth is so crazy right now
Mhm.
that the U.S. 4x4 could honestly run with just one guy who made it through the actual open 400 on their 4x4. They could run Grant Holloway on there, who's run 44. They could run Ry Benjamin, who's split 43.
Mhm.
You can run Fred Curley, who's run 43.
Yeah.
Like, they're like on top of having Randolph Ross and Michael Cherry and Will London, and like you like bro, like you got so many people that you could just
Yeah.
and also just Michael Norman, who has the indoor world record.
Yeah, man. We're stacked.
Like, bro, like what?
We are stacked, man.
It's
We are
crazy.
stacked. Yeah, it is. But
It's crazy.
yeah, moving
And it's
from
the same thing with the 4x1. Just imagine if Christian Coleman was eligible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the one thing.
Imagine if he was eligible.
It'd be different. But moving from the Olympics, we'll touch. We've said it a couple of times this episode, but we'll touch on ShaCarri Richardson's situation. So anybody who's not aware, but it's very it's like top news. It's pretty hard not to hear, but in case you haven't, ShaCarri Richardson was banned for, was it 30 days or is it 2 months?
Yep, for 30 days.
30 days.
30 days, 30 days.
Yeah, the ban usually, I think standard ban is what, isn't it 2 months of a standard ban usually for use of it?
Yeah, usually, but because of the situation,
Yeah.
and
They
it
made
only
it
being
30.
weed of
Yeah,
nothing else, they
it
only
wasn't a
banned it for
performance,
30
it
days.
wasn't a performance enhancement. It doesn't enhance performance, so it's a
It
only.
wasn't perform enhancing drug, and that's why.
But it sucks a lot because she was the favorite for the women's 100, and obviously she's in the women's 4x1 as we talked about earlier too, but she's extremely talented. um yeah, she's extremely talented, and she just, obviously this is unfortunate that she was smoking marijuana, weed, and got caught, came up on the drug test, which is, I think she handled it amazingly though. The situation, she acknowledged what happened. She just lost her
Yeah,
mother,
it definitely did.
you know
Yeah,
and some it's I mean, and
and I think that's something.
go ahead.
I think it's important that like it's kind of good on her end that she owned up to it, and she
She took it
she
well.
had that, and I think that it gains my respect.
Yeah,
Like, she owned up, she understood her
what
mistake.
she did was
It's
so
perfectly like,
professional.
yeah, but like, at the end of the day, listen, she smoked weed. It's not legal. Yeah, it might have been legal in Oregon, but it's not legal by the IAAF and
Mhm.
the track associations or whatever, the Olympic Association. It's not legal,
Yep.
and at the end of the day, it sucks, but she knew what she did,
Yep.
and so she has to face that 30 days. Yeah, it takes her out of the 100, but she's got championships for the next 4 odd years to make it up. She's got worlds in 2022 and 23. She's got the Olympics in 2024 and Worlds again in 2025. So she's got plenty of time to be getting herself
she's a
champions.
young sprinter. She hasn't even reached her peak. So it's not going to be the last time anybody sees her at all. But I think the thing I really wanted to focus on with that is the fact that it's unfortunate it happened, but she went on live TV, talked about it, handled it professionally, acknowledged what she did. But I think it's important for us to realize she just lost her mother recently. She's on the biggest stage of her life. Things are moving really fast in life, but there's obviously something that's kind of weighing her down, which is hard on anybody. So I don't I don't think we should act like, oh, you're so dumb. Why would you all you have to do is just not do it. Why would you sacrifice it? But we don't think, just like something we always talk about, which this podcast is built off the foundation that, as athletes are still human beings and we still have the same thoughts and the same temptations and the same, down highs and lows that everybody else has. And it helped her get through a situation in life that was really difficult for her. Yes, obviously, when you are a part of an organization, when you choose the lifestyle that you do and you represent what you do, you have to take into account the rules, right? I may not it's just like college athletes before everything, right? We couldn't get, you couldn't use your name and likeliness. You couldn't profit off of yourself, right? And it sucked. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wanted to be money. It's hard as hell being a college athlete and you're broke. You can't afford McDonald's at night. You're hungry. And I feel like every athlete has had it, D1, D2, or D3. But the fact is you couldn't do it. And you had to say, if I want to do this and I want to be a collegiate athlete, I can't have it. And it's just the same thing with this situation. It's unfortunate, but it really does suck. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Until the rules are changed, it is what it is.
Yeah. And I completely, I second all of that. I completely agree with everything you said there. But it sucks, but hopefully she can come back for the 4x1 and get herself a medal at these Olympics. It'd be great for her. It'd be great for the team. It'd be great for Team USA and fans, or, those like my girlfriend who now recently started getting into track because she thought ShaCarri was all cool wearing, she's got like her makeup on and the nails.
She always has her hair.
The whole fly, and like my girlfriend was like, like that's crazy. Like she's got like she wearing all that. She looking she looking so nice. Yet she's still running crazy fast, and it's like so she gets people like that to
she's excited
the sport, and it's it sucks to see, but she'll be back. Without a doubt, she's got plenty ahead of her.
If anything, sometimes situations like that make people more likable because you realize they're human. Like situations like that, like even going back to my favorite sprinter of all time, Justin Gatlin, right? Who during when we were still young had a situation where he was using performance enhancement drugs and it's banned. He didn't run for almost like a year or two, and he came back and had a second peak in his career. And people hated on him for his whole career. He never stopped hearing about it. Others, they make him feel like trash about it, but he stood strong and he persevered, and it made you realize, like, man, this dude makes mistakes just like everybody else. And he goes on every day, performs, and moves past it. And that's something that you have to appreciate. There's something you have to admire her for.
Yeah, I think that's very true. But moving on, I wanted to talk about what you had previously said before about the name and image and likeness. Big news in the NCAA and all sports, but what seems to be really taking a big swing on it is college football.
Monumental moment in sports history. One of the biggest, I will say, maybe top 10 biggest. Not even maybe. This is one of the top 10 biggest moves in sports history. This changes everything. This changes us. This changes a hell of a lot of other college athletes. This changes organizations, video games. This is huge. And I think this is what we're going to focus on the rest of this podcast, because this changes everything, man. This gives people an opportunity to be something that, they've always wanted to be. Because I think one thing that I want to focus on the most with this is it's nice because not every single athlete is going to be professional, but
Yep.
it's not fair for somebody to sacrifice 4 years of their life and not have anything in return except that they say, "Oh, I used to do this back in the day," right? No, and I feel for the athletes who were in college before and paved the way for this change. Credit goes to all you guys, for doing it for us, for doing it for everybody, because without everybody who was here before and said something about it and made a difference, it wouldn't
Reggie
be.
Bush. Reggie Bush.
Yeah, destroying the probably,
Yep.
yeah, probably one of the biggest examples of it, man.
He's is probably the marquee guy.
Yeah, man, it's the same type of path we did. I mean, even from like a personal experience between me and Ethan, man, like the hardest thing for us was, and we can be honest about this now, is we were like, man, like this is just for us. Like this is just for the pure love of it right now. Like this was just for the love of it, because we wanted to be able to reach out to people and share an experience and do something that not a lot of people in our position do, which
Yep.
is being in the mix of doing the cause, not just out of it, right? Being in the mix of all the stuff and being able to share life honestly from the angle of Division I athletes, and
Yeah.
it's, he changes everything.
It did. And it's I'm glad to see, things are changing for the better. You're gonna see a lot of athletes, especially like in the sports like baseball, where a lot of guys get drafted out of high school and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go straight to the minors because that nice signing bonus is gonna get me some good money instead of having to go to college.
Mhm.
And you're gonna see a lot more guys going to college there. You're going to see a change in college basketball that, that G League, that might be like a 2 year and done because guys now can make their money in college. What do they need to skip college and go to the G League,
I think
for?
this was but this, I honestly think this is a business move because the NCAA had to combat the shift in culture, because for the
Yep.
last couple of years, like LeBron and his team have advocated for it. The G League has up and rise. A lot of people weren't going to college. The whole one and done situation was going on because of like what Ben Simmons said. Like, why in the hell do I have to be a student? I can go make millions of dollars. This is my job. This is my job path. People are like, oh
Right.
no, in case it doesn't work. He said, no, I'm a guaranteed number one draft pick. I don't want to be in school. I don't care about class. And that's how some people are. And it's nice that the NCAA did this now, because it gives
It gives an
athletes who,
incentive.
the athletes who are good enough to go on to the next level, it gives them a reason to be in school, besides the school part, which a lot of athletes just don't give a shit about.
Because I think like athletes, I feel like collegiate athletes seem to forget. Some of them do, not all of them, but some of them do forget that they are student athletes. You
Mhm.
know, you're one Kevin Ware injury away from being done.
Yeah,
Not everyone's a Paul George who has a traumatic injury, breaks a leg, and is able to come back and still be a great athlete.
yeah,
You
man.
know.
Especially with some of these high contact sports.
Exactly. And, look, like, again, I go back to Kevin Ware. Like, the man absolutely obliterated his leg and probably was going to go to the NBA and have a great career there. Obliterated his leg, done. You haven't heard from him since.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you want to be able to receive that education like Larry Fitzgerald has done. He's very vocal about that. He went, even though he's obviously in the NFL and had a Hall of Fame career, he still went back and got his education.
Yeah, and I
You know,
mean
he
the thing off of what you said, man, is there some people value that and others don't. But like I feel like when it goes to NCAA, there's two different people, right? So we have one, athletes who are those 0.00001%, whatever they are, that are going to continue past collegiate to pros, and
right.
know they are, and are not in school. Either they can or they can't be in. They know they're going to go pros. So what they're thinking is not, oh, let me think about my 4 year degree and my plan. They're thinking, no, I'm trying to get multi-million dollar deals that I cannot, there's not very many opportunities in life outside of those sports to get. You can do it, obviously, but your life's about to change, your life's about to completely change and sign a contract and you're going to play professionally. It's kind of hard to think about chemistry class or my 8 a.m. lectures, you know? And then
Yeah.
there's the other athlete in college, which is the majority of. It's crazy not to discredit any of them because we're the 0.1% who went to play division, not even just collegiate, but division 1. So
Yep.
what the best of collegiate, there's some talented people who aren't in division 1, but the best of the highest class of collegiate sports. And when you're in that group, you know, there's some of us who know, okay, well, like we have our 4 year, but we're not going to go on and make pro. Obviously, we have the intent of trying, but once you realize, hey, I'm not going to go pro, I had a great 4 year career. Let me try to make a career out of maybe what I have, or now I'm just going to focus on something else, or maybe I'm just done, right? Now they can focus on the school and not doing that, right? But they're also going to be able to get paid for it, and they're going to be able to kind of have money on the side and be able to not, because when you're a division 1 athlete, it's very hard to work another job because it's so time consuming. So now you don't have to sacrifice having no money, especially if you don't have a lot of money that you come from anyways. And now you're able to come out and be compensated for it. For it is a full-time job to be a division 1 athlete. Whether people are saying, oh, you're lucky you're playing sports. No, that is dedication. You don't always want to go. It's not always fun. I mean, you love it, but I mean, it's nice to be compensated for it and be able to come out of college and be financially in a solid situation and then be able to continue your life. So there's the athletes that it benefits both sides, you know?
I think so. I agree with that 100%. And, we'll have to see what the future holds. But, I think this is very much in the right step for all of collegiate athletics, Division 1 through Division 3.
Yeah.
And, we're just going to have to see moving forward what we want to do. So I
Yeah.
think,
And
we're just going to have to, see.
what do you think about any collegiate athlete that has been uh either discredited or they have been dethroned of stuff of that they've had before. So like the Reggie Bushes, the Fab Five,
That was going to be my go-to. Reggie
yeah,
Bush right there.
the Fab Five
Man,
of Michigan with
it
like
was
Chris Webber and all them too.
That's true. Yeah, but Reggie Bush, because it's been so much in the news recently, but I believe he had made $300,000 off of something. I
Yeah, they
forget.
took his Heisman.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they took away his records, took
Mm-hmm.
away that 2005 season statistics and records, and took
Mm-hmm.
away the Heisman.
Yeah,
And now, because of all of this, they're saying for him to get reinstated back and as the Heisman Trophy winner for that year. And now it's in like a iffy situation because the Heisman Trust, who runs the Heisman, trophy and all that, they said they'd more than welcome him back as long as it's okay with the NCAA. So now it's all in the NCAA's hand, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, they let them decide. We don't want to take care of it.
Yeah, or the
It's like
Fab,
that's like
the
asking,
Fab
it's like
Five of Michigan,
basically the same
that is
situation. It's like if you ask your mom to go out to a party and she's like, go ask your dad, you know. But like, you see, I'll say yes if dad says yes, and like, but we have to see how it plans out. I hope he gets reinstated as the Heisman Trophy winner. He deserves it. He had a great career there, and he 100% deserves it.
yeah. I mean, I think as long as I mean, it's kind of I mean, you can't really fault them. It makes sense, right? Like they're hustling, they're trying to figure out how do I get money? How do I live comfortably? It's I think if you're not in the situation where you've been an athlete and you realize, bro, a lot of these dudes, man, like it's cool. You get the stuff that the school gives you, but it's pretty difficult to have $50 to like $0 in your bank account and you're having to ask your parents for food or get a box
Like
shipped or
me
have to
right
go
now,
home.
like I worked from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah,
just to
man.
make
Me,
ends
me,
cash. at two different places on top of
Yeah,
working at
me
the
and
gym
Ethan
just
used
to
to
get money
scrap.
to hold myself by and get half gas money.
Exactly. Me and Ethan, when we didn't have practice on the weekend, me and Ethan would have to scrap what we had to go take a run to Walmart and get us stuff for the week because we wanted to eat good because we're athletes. We wanted to put good food in our body. So, we'd scrap whatever we had to get a pizza on a Saturday, or like scrap what we had to like throw in stuff together. Have to call our parents so we could get stuff for Walmart for the week and put it in our fridge. Like,
Healthy, get some healthy foods
yeah,
in.
like stuff that we like.
We can't be having bad food every
No,
week.
man, it was hard. It was like we ran every single day. If we ate trash, like we had tried it before. Like me and Ethan ate this pizza one night, I remember, and we were so sick the next Saturday morning practice. It was so bad. And like at that point, we were like, no, we have to make
We're
sure that,
never doing that again.
yeah, on the days that we're performing, man, like we got to make sure we're eating the right stuff. Like we would get bananas, water, snacks, lunch, dinner, and make sure we're eating the right stuff because it's important. So having money in your pockets now, and being able to almost have a paycheck and know that I'm comfortable and I'm performing, and it makes it a little bit, it's huge, and it makes it better for the athletes. So I mean, with that, that's pretty much everything. That's pretty much everything we got for y'all, this week.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely have, I'm gonna I want next time to let's talk about that Monaco Diamond League that we're gonna have in a few days. I think, everyone tune into that. We definitely something to watch. That's basically your prelude into the Olympics to see where a lot of people are at. Was the Olympics a one-time fluke? Um, we'll have some good videos upcoming, some guests coming soon.
Yep.
It'll be some good stuff, and I'll have some personal news coming
Yeah.
soon.
Stay
A
tuned, man.
little bit of stuff coming soon, but
Mhm.
you guys will
Yeah.
see then in
Yeah,
a
and,
few days.
we'll definitely see. We'll probably have some more news as far as the athletes. It's very new. The monetization, and then the rule change in NCAA. So I'm sure we'll have some new news on that. Everything's kind of we're getting accustomed to it, and you're seeing a lot of things. So we'll definitely report back on everything, and appreciate you guys watching, man. There's another episode of the Handoff.
Thank you guys. Peace out. Have a good one.
Yep. See ya.